Hello and welcome to the Good News Newsroom of First Presbyterian Church of Walnut Ridge. Well, high on the minds of church leadership right now, as the COVID virus strikes the nation, is answering the question, how will we do worship? Now, various churches have answered that in different ways. Some have gone with live streaming on channels like YouTube or Facebook. Others are pre-recording and releasing on their website or other platforms. Here with us live today is a local pastor telling us how they are adjusting preparing services. Hey John, great to be here on the show today. Here I am live at First Presbyterian Church in Walnut Ridge. Here's a sneak peek at how worship is being pulled off. A little sneak peek behind the technology. I'm leading worship from up here at the pulpit from a laptop so I can operate a camera, which you'll see behind me, peeking over what is a very low-tech teleprompter, okay? So chalkboard, AKA teleprompter. You'll notice a big old heavy headset sitting here. That's so when we have worship, we have nice clean sound and not that crazy bathtub sound effect, which is so annoying. You'll have also noticed, let me come down here, we've had to move some things around a little bit. The communion table that was over there has been moved over by the pulpit so I can light candles and be next to it during worship. And in order to set all this stuff up, we pulled a utility cart, like a media cart, from one of the rooms, stacked camera on top, and also had to rig some lighting. You can see here on, guess what that is? That's a microphone stand, but it makes a great light stand when you're in quarantine. Just note to self for anybody doing video production while in quarantine. So that's the situation here at First Presbyterian Church, and it looks like it may be that way for a while, but God willing, it won't be, and we'll be back in each other's pews soon. And I hope everyone is staying safe out there. Back to you, John, in the First Pres newsroom. Thank you, John. Anyone wishing to follow worship at First Presbyterian Church, you can go to their website, fpcwalnutridge.com, or to see it on Sunday mornings, go to their YouTube channel, which you can access through tinyurl.com/FPC Walnut Ridge. Speaking of worship, with Easter and the first Sunday of the month looming, traditionally times where congregations may be celebrating communion, the Office of the General Assembly has offered an advisory opinion as to whether or not it's appropriate to have virtual communion, stating, in emergency circumstances, there may be situations in which the pastoral needs of that moment require that the church take actions that run contrary to normal practice. During an emergency or a pandemic in which the church is unable to gather or advise not to gather in person for reasons of public health, a congregation session may determine that this includes observing communion online. They further go on to say, decisions made within an emergency or during a pandemic which precludes the church from meeting in person are not to be taken as changing this denomination's understanding of the meaning and practice of the sacrament of the Lord's Supper as found within the Directory of Worship. In anticipation of this change of polity, Susan Arnold, pastor of Wynn Presbyterian Church, and John Arnold of First Presbyterian Church have jointly ordered individual cups, including juice and a wafer, to be used for home communion pending the approval of the sessions. Materials were pre-ordered because currently the stock of these personal cups is dwindling rapidly and back ordering is being pushed as late as May with some suppliers. More will be released about that as we hear back from sessions. Also underway at First Presbyterian Church is the replacement of the old 1990 blue hymnals. Due to a year-end generous gift, new hymnals have been ordered. Glory to God, the most recent edition of the Presbyterian hymnal, includes over 800 hymns. 50% of those come from the 1990 hymnal, whereas the other 50% roughly are made up of individual artists or hymns brought back from old favorite hymnals. This hymnal also represents music from 6 different continents and a broad variety of worship styles. These bright purple hymnals will be a welcome addition when we return to worship. Worship is not the only activity that's been disrupted at the life of First Presbyterian Church. Plans for a workday to make some much-needed landscape improvements before Easter was initially put on hold due to rain. However, with the COVID virus in place right now, that may be pushed back quite a bit further. Here to report on the progress, or actually lack thereof, of that project is local field reporter John Arnold, coming to us live at First Presbyterian. Hey John, I'm here reporting outside live at First Presbyterian Church on the corner of Walnut and 3rd Street. And right now, all progress on the building and grounds project of renovating the landscaping is on hold. As you can see here behind me, we've taken up landscape timbers, and we're going to have to get in here and do something pretty soon, whether we complete the renovation or not, because with all the rain, we've got some erosion coming over onto the sidewalk. John, what type of improvements are going to be made to the grounds there? They'll be putting in cement block down here, landscaping block around the beds in the front, and we're also looking into replacing some of the shrubbery that has died out. And here along the side, you'll see there was some landscape timber here. We're going to be replacing that with metal edging that is used on other parts of the grounds. Have there been any plans made, like a new date that's been set in place to complete the project? Right now, plans for resuming the project are on hold, but we'll be sure to alert you as soon as possible. Back to you. One hidden blessing that has happened during this crisis is that churches are now collaborating together in ways they never would have since their activity has been pushed online. Reverend Susan Arnold of Wynn Presbyterian Church teaches a Tuesday evening class at 6 o'clock on the Sermon on the Mount. Originally, this class, a live class offered at her church, has been moved to a Zoom platform. And when she did that move, she recruited her husband, John Arnold, to help her with the technical side of that, and they opened the class up to his members. Anyone wanting to join that Bible study on Tuesday nights can visit the website of First Presbyterian Church to find out details and a link for joining. Lastly, Yoga at First is also moving online. Pastor John Arnold is filming several sequences that he'll be placing on the church website and on the church's YouTube channel so people can follow along at home. Periodically, he'll be offering streaming classes live on either Facebook or YouTube. Those are to be announced on the church's Facebook page, his personal Facebook page, and the church website. These classes, if you are interested, are beginner-friendly. They are meditative in nature and usually include a devotional at the end. So if you are feeling cooped up at home, ready to get a little movement and boost your immune system as we face this virus crisis, yoga might be a great thing for you to try right now. Now, for details on this or any of the things that we've discussed today in our Good News broadcast, you can go to First Presbyterian Church's website, which is fpcwalnutridge.org. Once again, that is fpcwalnutridge.org. Thank you for tuning in to the Good News Newsroom, and we'll be coming back to you again soon with updates on Life at First.